Okay, good evening, everyone. And today I want to tell you something about my journey as a Android developer. It is now 8 years since I started developing apps for Google, that is apps that run on Android phones. And I bought my Google Play Store on exactly 19th of August 2016. It was not until I launched one by that time and it didn't work well. And okay, you may wonder, who am I? I'm called host Dennis. And if you have been in my fan, you could have seen part of my apps that I've developed. And that is my name, host Dennis. And I use my brand name Afritech Innovation Solutions. So I'm talking about being an Android developer. Yes, there's not much money, but you have something that you get at the end of the month. You don't have to sit alone at home. So I had the first application that were not doing well. Then I came in 2017. I developed applications that you're seeing here. I think one of the applications that first gained increased my zeal to do development was these things for a part, and now it has 11.7 thousand users in production. Then I'm still there, still staying the call. So I did another one called No Longer at Ease. These apps mean a lot to me because they inspired me to continue in the software development. I was almost giving up because my first app was EM Bible Quiz. It is disabled. This is the app, this one, and this one. These were the first applications I launched. This one and this one, but they were removed, and this one. They are removed, they are not in production because I did not get extra motivation to keep them in production, but anytime I can revive them back to production because I just have to update the Android version target and then they come back to production. So when did I receive my first payment? And who motivated me to join Android development? Okay, 2016, after my campus, then there was this guy. I did a project and it was English to Nyankole, and then I moved around telling people what I can do. Then I met this guy at All Saints Nakaselo called Arthur Ronald Nightway, and then he told me, I showed him my application Bible quiz, and then he told me, write down the ideas that you feel you can do, and I wrote them down, and I wrote those ideas down, and I thought about, because I was more into church and I was more into literature, and I found literature apps were not available on the Play Store, and in Uganda we had these apps that most people use. We had these books, They Come and Worship, Uganda is Praise, and literature books, things fall apart, No Longer at Ease, and I love those books, so I decided to start with them. So by luck I found a PDF of Things Fall Apart, and then No Longer at Ease, and then I had to start on them. So what was the first framework I used? The first framework was terrible because by that time I was using my 2 GB RAM laptop and it was a baby computer. Let me see if I still have photos of that time. I think I don't still have them because they are all gone. Now I'm in the new version of the applications, but I'll check to see if I have the version of those photos. mm, because those, okay, I'll check one I think which still has those photos. Let me check what. Possibly Lion and Jewel could be having. No, I don't think any of this still has that old type of interface. Okay, the old type of interface I was using Fragments, and you know Fragments had its own weakness because you had to define. I had not by that time learned Firebase, so my data that is displayed was in the code, and it had to be in the XML, and in the XML there are specific characters you cannot put there, like double quotation marks can't be there, single quotation marks can't be there. So if it is a double quotation mark, you have to replace it with a star. Then if it's a single quotation, with a single star. That's how I overcome that. And by that time I edited Uganda Youth Praise, Come and Worship, and I provided the docs of those. And for you, those of you who visit these churches, most churches in Kampala, my friend asked me for that text, and you will find that most of those churches, the Church of Uganda churches, they have their hymn books, and instead of double quotes and single quotes, they have a star. So wherever you find that star, know that that was my idea behind. But they didn't know that it was because I was formatting the text to be ready for the app, and for them when they got it, they never changed anything. That is the impact I created. I thank God that I did that, and I thank that those people that I contributed to worship in most of the churches. Now, my first applications were terrible. You can see two downloads. One, actually this one got a maximum of 44, and I had a lot of expectations. I thought I would get millions of dollars, but it was a huge disappointment. I had to retreat back to the village and start from the scratch. I started teaching in a secondary school, with which one time had no power for like 6 days a week. When I would go home to my home area, there was no 3G, there is only 2G, so you can't search, you can't load a page, meaning no development. Then finally I took up a job the following year in a town that had 3G, and I was very happy and glad. Actually, during that time, somebody contracted me to design a website, and when I would be home, there is nothing that happens. I remember this guy calling me like 30 times, "You man, why is my website? What are you doing?" And I didn't tell him that I've just gone home to pick foodstuffs. Then I would be back to the school and I would try to host, because the people who taught me how to host, I could not host, but I learned how to host a website by myself. So, what apps inspired me? Now, when I made these things fall apart, it reached its maximum at 17,000, and then no longer at ease. I had this chat in my room that I kept on recording the installations every day that have come on, and I was very excited. I remember some girl called Serena Katusime visited me and saw my chat and saw a very, very determined young man. We were not in love, but we were friends. And she told me, "Oh, I've been at training. Can you look into RecyclerView and CADView? Because you are using Fragments, maybe RecyclerView can be of better help to you." Then I told her, "Okay, I will adopt it." Remember, I'd started using Eclipse. We are using Eclipse. Now we have to move to Android Studio with Material Design. That was the time there was Android 5.0. Oh my god, everyone with Android 5.0 was a king. But right now we are Android 14, and now Android 5.0, we no longer our apps no longer target Android 5.0. They start from 7, meaning our apps are designed for people who started owning phones from 2017 upwards. No, 2018, when there was Android 7.0, meaning those ones of 2005 when I started developing are no longer, they are obsolete. So afterwards I thought about developing this, targeting the churches, because they have these apps. They have a hymn book, Uganda Youth Praise, and then they have a prayer book, Come and Worship. So that time I had learned how to repair printers by myself, because I now a friend called me, my printer is not working. Then I went to sort it. I didn't use my knowledge, I used the internet to sort it. I remember reaching there and then there was no network. Then I tell them I have class. When I reached school where there was network, I searched for the problem. Then after the class I went back and sorted the problem. They asked me, how much do you want me to pay? I told him, no, I don't want any money, I want you to scan my 2 books. He scanned the 2 books free, because in payment for the service I was done for him. So after that period I went to my room, I did the editing, I converted the OCR of this Uganda Youth Praise at first. This was my main target, and then finally I finished it. So what happened? I launched this app in Evander. In Evander, that is St. Paul's Cathedral. By that time it was still not a cathedral, and it was not as beautiful as it is now, because by that time I was using fragments, it had no search. And I remember one time somebody told me that, oh, it doesn't search. And then I started to work on searching. Oh, this was the original fragment, how it looked like. And then it had this background of the cloud, and it was looking like this. You can see how it was. And then you come to this. As Fate open a single page, you would see how it is. But you can see this one is more beautiful than this one. So here, after Serena told me I had to learn material design, I had to learn Recycler View, it simplified the way I did my work, and I migrated from putting my code into XML, my data into the Java files, and it was in an array. And that's how I was pulling these texts, these titles and the songs into the card view. And that is how. So later I had to migrate it to Firebase. And that's how now. Then later, 2021, I was still finding out how to do the search. So you can imagine, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, February. It took me about 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 years to implement a search view. And that time I had to teach myself Kotlin, because it is the one I found it could easily implement a search view without any hassle. I now left Java, and I loved Kotlin because it could simplify my work. I had to make the code be modular. I had to do a lot of things with the code, I could show you how the Kotlin code that I use looks like, but so most of my apps use this structure. And for those of you who want to know about me, you can go to Google Play Store. And then you just type in Mohozi. Yeah. So when you type in Mohozi Dennis, they will bring you a lot of stuff that I have done. Yeah, these are one of my latest applications that I did. But I want to show you when you load the Mohozi Dennis. Yeah, it will show you this. It will show you affordable technology for Africans, Afritech. And as of now, 2024, I am migrating from affordable because it is too long to Afrion Consulting, which is simple and short. And you can check out our website, Afrion Consult, afrionconsult.com. Yeah, this is the one. So now I was still thinking about my developer success journey. Now money, because I know most of you want to ask me, how much money did you make? So by the first time they paid me, okay, I had this 1 year off and I was out of development the whole of 2017 October, and then I returned back 2018 August. So the whole of that period I was not active on any media, on internet, everywhere. My phone was off. I was undergoing some metamorphosis, some development into a new person. And when I came back, I found my apps had gained a lot. I had something like 47.13. You can see when I came back it was 47.13. The issue now was verifying, because my account was not verified. So I got my university ID, I scanned it, then I sent it to these guys of Google, and after 2 days they verified it, and I was now happy that my account is verified. Then I started promoting my account. December, you can see by end of December I had moved to 73 because I made $27. By that time that was a lot of money for me. So January I made $18. You can see now I moved to 91.5, and I was excited to receive my payment. And what happened was terrible. What happened was terrible because I was expected to get I reached my payment at the end of Feb. Then I was expected to be paid at the end of March. What happened is I started giving people airtime to click on the ads. As a result, Google suspended my ads account for a full month, and you can see they charged me $10.84. I was enjoying seeing the money increasing, but they had to reduce it by $10 and suspend me for a full month. After that, so I got my payment in April. You can see here, April 18th, 2019 was $120.91. So that month of April, you can see how much money I made. It was 9.35 with a lot of invalid traffic because I was still telling people still were clicking on the ads. Now I got to May, I become disciplined and I have a full payment of 20 clean with no penalty. Then I moved to June, I made $25. Then I moved to, by the end of June, I made it to 120, ready for payments. I got my payment, this is July, I got my payment in August, my second payment. And August, I got the highest money for the first time of $41. I could not imagine getting $41. It was like a miracle. September, I went back to 27. October, 36 to rose again. November, 36 maintained. So November I got my third payment, and all in the same year. The frequency was after 3 months a payment. December I made 38. Then 2020 I was paid 30. I got 35. Now February, this was my highest pay money made in a single month, $48. I was very excited. So March I went back to 28. April I went back to 12. Now these values remind me, by that time getting 48, I felt like a king. Now these days when I get 40 something, I look like I didn't work. It is a mess. Like last month I made this. So I'm going to show you progressively how I moved on. By that time I have not my chart showing the way I was making money. Okay, the numbers, but now the numbers have gone high. I have 71,000 installs. I have 45,000 for Command Worship. I have this book I developed 2020. It is 24.6. Then I have this. I decided to make a version of. Then I have this Runyankore book 550. I launched it in 2023. Then I have this book for the artist Itesots 9.57, and so you can see my biggest application is Uganda Youth Praise and Command Worship. Yeah, in the greatest month, Command Worship, no, Uganda Youth Praise made $90 in a given month, more than what I used to make. So we can continue and see. This is 2020, COVID time, April. Things become worse. I go back to 12. May I go to 12. June I go to 11. Then July I get 5 only. This was the most disappointment month. So after getting 5, I decided to go YouTube to make YouTube videos. And August things came back a bit normal, 12. Then September I went back, moved to 14. October 23 things start normalizing. November 26 things start becoming normal. December 33 things are becoming normal. 34, that was for January, I got my payment. This payment was a really serious payment because I had not paid rent by the end of December. Then I told my wife, oh no, let me not tell that, but it was a huge story because somebody was demanding me money. Then I told him, please wait, I'll give you the money when, because I'm expecting payment, and this person did not understand. So I had 1,000 in Uganda shillings, which is 100 forints, in my pocket for 1 month. I reduced my list size, smallest size, because I never spent anything in the month of January 2021 until January 21st when I was paid. So January I got 34, then I moved on. February I made 57. Now life is coming up. March I make 63. Wow, I'm excited a bit. And then it goes to April, I make 59. I get my payment in April. I think Feb, March, April. This was the first time I'm getting payment in, okay, these are 3 months. Then May, I get 59. June, I get $66. That is good. Then August, I get paid. I got 50. September, I made 53. You can see now my payments increased to 50, 60. I'm just within there. November, I made 83. Wow, this was the most exciting time. I thought I was actually going to make $100 for the first time, but I made 83. So now my payment started going to 151. You can see that. So I get paid 151 for the first time, December 21st. Remember 21st? Oh, there is something special with from April, from Feb 2021, because that is when I implemented the new interface. And then it moved to 2022. I make $77. That was in Feb. March, I make 94. This was an attempt to get $100. Get paid in 1 month. I now start being paid for 2 months. There is something special with I go to April, I get 94. For the second consecutive month, I'm getting 94. Things become being normal. I go to May, I get 64. That's a disappointment. I go to June, I get 66. I go to July, and it becomes an exceptional month. What is special with July? I implemented interstitial ads, and my revenue rose from 66 to 138, and that was the start of a good life. I went to August, I made $140 in a month. Now I started being paid after every month. I go to September, I get 152. That is good money. That is like 50,000 forints, or 100 fee, or 500 Uganda shillings. So there I start enjoying life. Here I make 160, that is 600,000 Uganda shillings. And that time I make 173. I thought I was going to make $200, but it didn't happen. Here I make 171. You can see for 2 consecutive months, 173, 171, 167. Now that was a good time. 154, 190. Oh, this was March 2023. I anticipated to get $200, but it didn't reach. So I go to April 2023. I get 171. I go to May 179. What inspired me to implement interstitial ads? Google delayed payment, and I was waiting for my $120 something, and I saw some guy demanding $789. I said, what? It is possible to make that money? So I went and started figuring how to do it. And interstitial ads, I implemented them in 3 days. 3 days when I was home, not doing anything, just on my laptop, implementing, testing, trying out, and by 3 days I set up an income that made me a lot of dollars. July, I make 130. What is wrong with July? Google said, okay, 181. Google said we have to migrate from ads play version 19 to 20. Now from 19 to 20 there is a problem. I saw a decrease in my revenue. 130, you see. August comes, I got 104, which is abnormal. September 97, I failed to make $100. October, I get 89, failed to make $100. November, I get 84, failed to make $100. December, 81, failed. January, 59. It's truly disastrous. Feb, more disastrous. 61. March, 75. I thought I'd come up. April, back to 44, below average. May, 44. June, above average. So now I'm waiting for this month. July, below average. So now I'm here in the current month, and I have 32. It is also expected to be below average because today is 20th and I have about 10 days, but I have some Sundays still remaining, so I hope I'll make it up for payment in 2 months. So that is my developer journey, and the 2 players making this money. I can show you. So that you see the 2 players. Like last month I made 28.40. This upper one time made me $90 at the peak, but now you see last month 28.40, this month 21.15, and I get much money on a Sunday because this upside is going on Sunday. So every one of you thinking of going mobile app development, it is a good venture because they are pretty good people who are making a lot of money, more than YouTube, because I've seen one person who did a YouTube channel for 4 years and has only been paid 2 times. Me, I've been paid several times for a period of 4 years. So it is a profitable venture, being paid every month. It would cater for my bills, so I had not to worry about rent and stuff and feeding. And now I'm learning a lot of new stuff example, I was fascinated about, okay, I should not tell you what I'm working on, but I'm working on a lot of stuff now. I'm working on I'm just going to show you something small. This is a dating app, and then I'll show you another one that I'm working on. It is a meditation app, but it's already up on Google, but I still have some issues to solve. So that is me. Now I'm migrating from using Kotlin to using React Native, because with React Native you have a lot of control over your data, and I'm using MongoDB because I'm preparing myself for the world, for getting a good job and remote work. So I think that's enough of taking your time. And don't forget, in my free time I write code. When I'm not writing code, then I'm sleeping. If not, I'm running, I'm doing athletics. If not, I'm at work. Yeah, I don't party, I don't club. I want to show you my YouTube channel that I have put a lot of time on it, and you can see Learn It with Dennis. So don't forget to subscribe and like. And I am a very funny and fascinating person. You see, in my free time I go and chill out and release the negative energy. Okay, have a good day and good night. I wish you the best.